Hey there, refurbers and scruffy-looking nerve herders. It's me, scruffy-looking RGB, and today I have a guest. You all may know this guy here. What's your name, sir?
Tito.
Tito. We got Tito from Macho Nacho Productions all the way out to Japan. Yeah, and we're gonna check out some dope retro games in one of my secret locations here. So let's get scruffy-looking. Here we are in my favorite section, the junk, and Tito, I think he also likes the junk, right?
Oh yeah, I love the junk.
Loves the junk. So, what do you think of these prices here? Could you find a 400 yen Famicom in your neck of the woods?
Probably not. I mean, that's like one of the things that always surprises me coming to these like thrift shops in Japan. Just how cheap everything is. I mean, finding something in similar condition in the U.S. I think would be much more expensive.
How much would you say in the U.S.?
I would say probably for a Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Probably at least 50 bucks.
50 bucks for a loose one like that?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't follow the prices too closely, but I definitely not 400 yen, which is what is that, like $2 or $3?
Yeah,
I don't even.
like that.
Which is that's insane. They're like giving these away. I feel like.
Do you have a Super Famicom?
So funny that you asked that. I do have a video coming up with a PAL Super Nintendo, which basically looks like a Super Famicom.
Right. I've seen those before.
But had a couple issues with it, but I think we're getting through most of them. So I will have a video coming out where I do mod.
I'll link
Super
that
Nintendo.
below
Yeah.
once that's available.
Yeah, all right.
I missed something here, Tito. They've got this Sega Saturn Yoke 2000. I thought it was the console for a second. I was about to freak out for 2,300 yen in the box.
Oh, yeah.
There's
It's
another one
interesting
down
that
there.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool. That's only 1,500 yen. You need a yoke? You have a Sega Saturn, right?
I do, yeah. I actually, so that one I modded with a Fenrir ODE. And
Does that
also,
allow you to use the discs as well?
only if you install it with the Saturn switcher, which there was a guy, he made it basically it's a switch, and you can switch between optical drive and then the Fenrir, which you have to put into that accessory expansion.
Okay.
But yeah, so you can actually do both, which is great.
That's cool. I know you have a Sega Saturn. I don't know if that's Saturn. Dreamcast, right?
Yep.
Dreamcast.
Yep. So I actually have my original one that I bought in 1999.
Oh, nice.
And then I've also since modded one as well. So
They do have N64 here. N64s here as well. Not the best price, but I guess that's about the going price here in Japan. 4,000 for a loose, just a unit there.
which I feel like is still much better than the U.S. And
Yeah,
the nice
probably.
thing with these is, I think probably most of your viewers would know, is you can easily swap out the that little tray in here, so you can play. Well, at least I guess that's the U.S. So here it actually probably doesn't come with it. So this is probably region free already.
I'm not sure if you can play U.S. games in a Japanese one. I think
Because I think
you might have to get the one without the holes in it.
Because I know in the U.S. one it has like the pegs, right?
Yeah,
And
it
I
has
forget which
pegs.
ones. And
And you need to put in like just
A
they usually
blank
3D
tray.
print the tray
Yeah.
and put them in there.
But still, what is this? 38,
3,800.
800.
That's not bad.
I feel like that's pretty cheap too. So,
So it's pretty cheap.
and then these PlayStations, 4,000. Again, I feel like probably a pretty good deal. And also, I'm not sure if I don't think we got white ones in the U.S. Maybe we did.
I'm not sure either. I don't remember. They do have quite a few controllers here. Always pretty good. 300 yen for a N64 controller. It's a little bit loose, but I think you can replace the gates on those.
Yep.
Actually.
And I think they have like some good aftermarket joysticks options. And dude, for 300 yen,
300 yen.
again, they're just like giving these away, and that'll clean up probably pretty good.
Yeah. I think these are pretty, sometimes better than even hard off prices. This place can sometimes have good stuff.
This one's 400. I'll probably pick, because I only have, I think, like 1 or 2 original 64 controllers, so I wouldn't mind picking up an extra one.
Do you have one of these Xboxes?
I do have a 360, but it's the, I think it's like the one after this. It's like a smaller one.
Okay. Yeah.
And I did a refurb video on it. I don't have one of these.
These are really, I find these all the time here. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's not so popular, it seems like.
Yeah, I think the Xbox, unfortunately, really doesn't have a good footing in Japan.
No. How about in the State? This version of the Xbox, is it less wanted? Or
I feel like they're probably pretty, again, I don't do too much Xbox, but I feel like you can probably find these pretty easily. And, I'm not sure if you'll find it this cheap though.
Yeah, 800 yen.
But
it says,
now this one does seem like it has a couple issues with it. Like the memory card door looks like it's stuck open.
yeah, the memory card cover is busted maybe.
Yep.
Possibly fixable, probably a spring or something, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I do have a HD DVD player for this, because you had to buy that as a separate accessory.
Oh, really?
And it's broken, so I do actually plan on making a video, maybe repairing that.
That'd be cool.
Because I liked dead formats, so HD DVD.
Mega, what is that? MD?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yep.
This is a pretty good deal for a Mega Drive in the box,
Yeah.
in my opinion. 12,000.
12,000. What is that? Probably slightly less than 100.
Yeah. I like the box style and everything.
Yeah.
The PC
And then,
Engine
yeah,
Duo.
this
Do you have one of those?
So I do have one of these, and this is actually one of the first refurbs I've ever done
Interesting.
on a console. So I do plan on maybe revisiting it just to see how bad my soldering was when I first.
How much did you pay for yours at that time?
Oh, it was much less. So I didn't get the box. Mine
Yeah.
came loose, and it wasn't working. So I needed a recap, because these are, I think, pretty prone to having bad caps.
Right.
So, but after doing the recap, it worked perfectly.
Yeah. Some of my favorite, definitely, PC Engine is one of my favorites to collect for.
Mhm.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, same here. No, I feel like PC Engine has like really unique hardware, which is what I really, really love about it. So many different variants, which is really nice.
You have a Super Scope?
Yeah.
It's so big it doesn't fit in the camera, but Super Scope.
Yep. So I've actually never used a Super Scope. I do remember when it like came out, and I was like, that is so cool, but never got one or tried one.
Not much space to put the.
Yeah.
Here's a Sakura Wars Dreamcast. I want to say that's pretty rare. Yeah, 55,000 for that. It's probably that clear pink one. I'm not sure.
Right. Complete in box. Looks like in pretty good shape. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, here we go.
Oh, there it
pink.
is. It's pink. It's not clear, but it's got all of the characters on it. That's pretty rare. I don't see that. I don't remember seeing that in any of my videos.
It actually
but
comes with its own VMU, which is pretty
that's pretty
cool.
cool.
Because actually, if I remember correctly, even in the U.S., they didn't come bundled with a VMU. You had to buy it separately.
But 55,000.
That's really expensive.
If you're a Sakura fan, I guess.
Ooh, well, that's pretty cool. Got all the Final Fantasies.
There you go. How much are they going for?
Ooh, that's kind of like $30, I guess, or 25. Ooh, this one's
In the box.
is this 6 probably?
Is Final Fantasy on the GBA in the States? This costs
Um,
about the same, or?
That's a good question. I think these did come out in the U.S. For the Game Boy Advance. I would imagine though they're going to be quite a bit more expensive than this.
These loose, I'd say this is around 1,800 or 20,000,
That's
something
pretty
like
good.
that. So I'd say this is not a bad deal.
Yeah, and honestly, like I feel like finding a complete in-box Game Boy Advance game in the U.S. is also quite uncommon. And I mean, and also,
These are really pristine.
yeah, these are really good condition. And also, I feel like the box art in Japan is always better for Final Fantasy games. I don't know, I just think they do a lot better job. than they do in the United States.
In general, a lot of the art, in my opinion, also
Yeah.
is much better on. Are you a Pokemon guy?
Oh,
I know
yeah.
a lot of Pokemon guys.
So I
got
stopped
Leaf?
at. Yeah, I didn't get into. I never had a Game Boy Advance. I stopped at the Game Boy Pocket was the only Game Boy that I had growing up, and it wasn't until much later that I got all the other ones. But
Dungeon is pretty cheap. 1,500. Pokemon Dungeon. Kushigina Dungeon. You got, is it silver there? 3,100.
yeah, the one I had growing up was blue. I had blue. My
You had
buddy
blue?
had red. Yeah.
Was there green in the States? Did they have
I
green?
don't think so.
That's why it's a little bit more expensive than the others, I guess.
We definitely got yellow. We got yellow, red, and blue. But yeah, no green.
We got some PC Engine games here. I know Tito's a PC Engine guy.
Yeah.
Splatterhouse. I'm sure you already probably had that one, right?
Yep. So yeah, I have this one. I do have the Japanese one at home, and then I also have the English version of it. And I think a fun fact is in the Japanese one, he has a white mask in gameplay. Oh, there's no gameplay.
Yeah, there isn't usually
Yeah.
for the earlier ones, anyways.
And then in the American one, they actually had to make it red or maroon because
Really?
it was a copyright infringement because you know, this is
Jason, yeah.
Jason Voorhees. And,
There you go.
So yeah.
I didn't know that. This Alien Crush, 3,800. This is a
Oh, that's
pinball game.
classic. Yep.
But I want to say this is usually very expensive. You guys can let me know down in the comments, but I want to say this goes for like 10,000 usually.
Oh wow.
I'll have to look that up. But yeah, Alien Crush. I don't know if I've ever actually played it, but a lot of people talk about it. It's a good pinball game.
Mm-hmm.
R-Type is definitely the one. Oh, this is R-Type 2. R-Type 1 is pretty tough, but I'm pretty sure R-Type 2 is even tougher. Good shooter, though. Any other... They don't have so many PC Engine games these days. They used to have a lot more. Nothing worth mentioning. That arcade card duo, 5,700. A few Neo Geo games. Do you collect these? I know you have a Neo Geo.
Yeah, I have a couple games, and it's funny, I got them specifically for the video.
For the
I made
video.
on it. Actually, I might pick up some of those. Oh, maybe some Sega Saturn games.
Yeah.
Too. Oh, this game. Well, this is a Sega Saturn game. I don't know if you want to talk about it.
Deep Blue?
Deep Fear.
Yeah.
So this was kind of like Sega's attempt at making a survivor horror, like Resident Evil. So this is like a Resident Evil type game with the pre-rendered backgrounds and the tank controls and everything. The only English version of this came out PAL, and I think it was the last PAL game ever to be released.
Really?
So it's really rare and really expensive, but the Japanese ones are, I think, pretty cheap to get. Yeah.
1,400. That's a good deal.
So actually, I have this because I bought it. It was so cheap, and then I have a. I don't know if I should say this, but I have a bootlegged PAL version.
It's okay. I don't think they're going to come after you this time. They do have a few WonderSwan games here. I'm pretty sure you have a WonderSwan, right?
I do, but I only have one game, and it's
the roofie one. I want to say you have the roofie one because I remember that was in your video.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was.
Was it the battle roofie game or the One Piece?
One Piece. That's it.
That's
Yeah, One Piece. Yep, that's the only one I have. So actually, I might pick up some WonderSwan stuff if we see any.
All right, here we are in the display case. That is crazy. I think that's the PC Engine. What is it? RX. It's one of the more rare versions, but look at that controller. It's 12,000 just for the controller. It's got turbo on each of the 6 buttons.
It's like an actual NEC controller.
Yeah.
It's not like an aftermarket.
Yeah. It's the
pretty
real
cool.
deal. I've seen them before complete, but I've never seen the controller go for that much. Just the controller. That's kind of cool. It has the 5. I don't have one in the box, but the
turbo
controller.
tab.
Yeah.
With
So there's
the-
like
yeah.
5. You can stick 5 controllers on that. 1,200. That's a pretty good
That's
deal
not
for
cheap.
that. It's a pretty nice box for that. Some adapters and things, but not a bad price on the Game Gear. 3,000. I'd say that's about the going rate for a Game Gear. Probably needs caps replaced.
And I'm taking a closer look at it. It looks like they replaced the screen lens because it's I know some have like a flat, but usually it's like a bubble shaped lens.
Somebody might have already.
Yeah. Because actually the shell looks like a really good shape.
It is pretty clean.
So I'm wondering if maybe it's an aftermarket.
Could be. They do have a Core Duo 2 in the box. Did you have that one yet, Tito?
I do not.
But there's one thing I don't see very often, a PC Engine, a really scruffy looking one to be exact. I might have to get one of those too, or get that one. It's perfect for refurbishing. Mm-hmm. And it has the AV booster. See what I'm saying? But that is something you don't see very often. Like 3,200, that's a really good deal. Even hard-offs sell them for more than that, I think, sometimes. So pretty cool, though.
Cool.
Stay tuned for next week's exciting adventure where we go hunting at a couple more hard-offs in search of more retro game deals. And of course, we'll go over all our pickups at the end of the next video. Until then, let me know what you think Tito and I picked up from this shop down in the comments below. If you like these videos and would like to help out the channel, please consider becoming a scruffy-looking RGB crew member. You get some awesome perks like members-only content, and you get to help out a scruffy-looking nerve herder too. Big shout out to current members. You guys are very much appreciated. And to everyone who watches, participates in the premiere chats, shares and likes the videos, it really helps out a lot. Thank you. Hope you all are staying safe wherever you may be. But above all, stay scruffy looking.
Who's scruffy looking?